Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Nathasya and now I want to explain to you about parallelism. So, what is the parallelism? Parallelism means repeating the same pattern of words to show that the two or more ideas have the same function. The function of the parallelism is to give a balance to a piece of writing and makes the writing easier to read. And the usual way to join the parallel structure is with the use of coordinating conjunction. Since we talk about coordinating conjunction, we also need to understand what is it about. Coordinate conjunction or coordinating conjunction is a conjunction that is used to connect words, phrase, clause, and sentence together. For example, in this sentence, Aaron speaks English and Scottish. There is one coordinating conjunction. What is that? It is and. Why does the word and act as a conjunction? Because it connects the two words, that is English and Scottish. Therefore, we can say that the word and here is the coordinate conjunction. And in general, when it comes to a coordinating conjunction, there is an acronym called Fanboys. So F is for, A is and, N is nor, P is but, O is or, Y is yet, and S is so. So that is the explanation about the coordinating conjunction. Moving forward, there is also one thing that we need to be familiar with if we talk about parallelism. It is the serial comma or Oxford comma. So a serial comma simply means that a comma will separate each element in a series of 3 or more even before the coordinating conjunction and before or. So as you can see here in this picture, there are differences in using the Oxford comma and not using it. It can be seen with the use of the Oxford comma. This sentence here shows clear information. That is, this person had 2 eggs, an orange juice, and toast, probably for their breakfast. Meanwhile, in the second sentence here, it offers a bit of unclear information due to the lack of serial comma. It shows that the person had 2 eggs and a mixed orange juice with toast. Probably the reader will be confused and ask, why does this person having mixed orange juice and toast as a breakfast? So it is a bit unclear, right? That is why a serial comma is essential in parallelism, because by using the Oxford comma or a serial comma, it can make the sentence clearer. So this is the principle of parallelism. So parallelism, as it relates to the sentence structure, is usually achieved by making the words and phrase in a sentence follow the same pattern. For example, nouns with nouns, adjective with adjective, adverb with adverb, and so forth. There is a term called signal word in parallelism. Signal word is a word that connects the parallel structure. If you use and, the elements that join by and should in parallel. Otherwise, it might inappropriate or break the parallelism. And also, all the coordinating conjunction or fanboys that we have talked before, it can be as signals for the parallel structure. So that is the explanation about the signal words. And next, this is the example of parallel and not parallel. First, you can see it is parallel, this first sentence, because each of the words is in the same patterns, that is in gerund. On the other hand, the second sentence is not parallel because they are not in the same pattern. Passing and shooting are really the same, but this sentence, he is good at rebounds, didn't have the same pattern with other. In simple words, it is not in the form of gerunds. Instead, this is an independent clause. That is why we cannot say that this second sentence is parallel, because they didn't have the same patterns. So parallelism can happen at the word, phrase, or clause level, also in the compound sentence. So first, this slide is showing word level. So in the word level, it means that the parallel structure is in the word pattern. For example, in this sentence, there is 3 words here: money, power, and security. They are in the form of words. That's why we can say this is parallel. Next, parallel can also happen in infinitive level. As you can see here, each of the parallel structure start with this one. It's 2 words, 2, 2, and 2. There was no opportunity to do my tasks, to request an extension, or to explain my situation. There is also a serial comma here to separate the next word, and also the coordinate conjunction. And next one, in this example, there is a preposition on each of the parallel structure. As you can see, the preposition here is in, under, and in also. There are also the comma here and the coordinate conjunction. So we can say that this is parallel because each of the words is in the same pattern. And for the clause level, each of the parallel structure start with the subordinate conjunction, that is who, how, and why. So in other words, a parallel structure that begins with clause must keep on with clause, otherwise it will not parallel or break the parallelism. So that's why this is an example of the parallelism in the clause level. Next, this is the example of parallelism in compound sentence. So compound sentence also include in the parallelism. In this example, there is 2 independent clause here. The first one is Jane has a red car, and also Jill has a blue car. So these 2 are independent clause because they have a subject and verb. Therefore, it is parallel because they both have the same pattern. After we talk about the coordinating conjunction, there is also a term called paired conjunction. There are several paired conjunctions that we can use in the parallelism, which are either or, neither nor, not only, and but also, both, and, whether or. Words and but are the most common individual signal words used with parallel construction, but sometimes we also need a paired conjunction for the parallelism or to balance the sentence. So let's see how we use the paired conjunction in the parallelism. First, we start with the word level. So in this example, there is 2 words here that connect by using the paired conjunction. It's fame and money. This is a word like. So we can say this is parallel because they both have the same pattern, that is in word. And this is the paired conjunction, so not only is paired with, but also. So this is the example in the word level. Next, this is the infinitive level. We use paired conjunction both paired with and. So don't forget, if we talk about infinitive, it starts with to here. So this is parallel: to buy a new house and to purchase a new car. And this is the paired conjunction, both and. So this can be said parallel. And this is the example of prepositional phrase. We use the paired conjunction either, paired with, or. And it is parallel because both of the phrase start with the same pattern. Use at, or it can also maybe in or other like on, as long as it talk about preposition. So we can conclude that as a parallel. But here this example is show that the sentence is parallel. See here, they use at the restaurant or at the taxi stand. We use the paired conjunction either, paired with, or. Don't forget, if we use either, so the paired one is or. If we use neither, we use nor. And this is the example in the clause level. The clause here is Mary a Democrat and is she a Republican. So we can say that this is parallel because they both have the same pattern. So that is the example of how we know that is parallel and not parallel, how the sentence is parallel in clause level, word level, and etc. So now we can start with a review with the explanation that we have learned. So first, the understudy had a bright green eyes, a great mass of blonde hair, and her face was red. If we want to determine this is a parallel or not, we need to see first where is the error. So the error here is here. The face was red. Because why? Because it's not in parallel with the other. Therefore, we should change this sentence into this one. We should change it into the understudy had a bright green eyes, a great mass of blonde hair, and a red face, so that they can be in the same pattern that is in place. Bright green eyes, a great mass of blonde hair, and conjunction, a red face. So this shows a place. And the second one, the contract was legible, lengthy, and it is awkward. So the error here is in this one. It is awkward. This is different with other that talk about adjective. Therefore, we should omit the it is and change it into awkward so that they can be in the same pattern. And don't forget the conjunction and also the comma. And the third one, the radiologist examined the MRI both carefully and with competence. So this is not in parallel with the carefully that talk about adverb, and this one is place actually. Therefore, we change the sentence into this one. The radiologist examined the MRI both carefully and competently. So we use paired conjunction here, using both and. So it can be seen that this word here showing same pattern, that is an in the adverb. Therefore, the sentence can be parallel. And the fourth one, the students agreed neither with the assignment requirement nor how the points were going to be distributed. So the error here is in the sentence how the points were going to be distributed. So this is not in parallel because it's different with the first a parallel structure that is with the assignment requirement. Therefore, we should change it into this one. The students agreed neither with assignment requirements nor with point distribution. So we change this clause, dependent clause, into the place. Change into the students agreed neither with the assignment requirements nor with point distribution. The last is, the new clerk was not only well skilled but also someone who could be trusted. And the error here is in someone who could be trusted. Therefore, we should change it into trustworthy so that these two parallel structure here can be in the same pattern, that is in adjective. And we use also paired conjunction, the same with the previous one that use neither and nor. And here we use not only but also. So that is how parallelism works. We should identify first what's the error and identify what is the pattern that we should follow to make them parallel. And we also need to pay attention to the conjunction, especially for the paired conjunction, and also the comma and etc. So that is all our lesson today about parallelism. I hope you learned something and thank you for listening. See you next time.